Hello guys, and welcome back to day 3 of Freak Week. If you have not seen the first 2 videos, they will be of course linked below along with 2017 and 2018. So this summer, when I was planning Freak Week, I asked you guys on Twitter for some ideas for topics and what you guys wanted to see. And a bunch of you asked for the legend of La Llorona. But here's the thing with that. It's a legend and it completely varies based on who was the one telling it. So I asked one of my friends about it and she was like, yes, La Llorona is scary, you should definitely talk about it, but have you heard of La Pascualita? So today I'm going to be telling you about both. Although keep in mind that these are legends. These are completely based on rumor and I'm just trying to collect the details and tell you about them as best as I can. So let's start with the more well-known topic. La Llorona. So some of you have possibly heard of La Llorona from that newer movie that came out a little while ago. But from what a lot of you have told me, apparently that story didn't go super well with the storyline, although I'm not a scary movie fan, so I have not seen that and I won't watch it. But it's an interesting story from what I did find. A bunch of you have told me different versions of it based on what your parents or grandparents told you. But here is the most common perception of the story. So the legend of La Llorona is traditionally known through Latin America, including Mexico, Central America, and South America. And this story takes place a long time ago, before colonization in Mexico. And according to the story, there was a woman named Maria who lived in a small village in Mexico. And according to the story, she eventually met a rich man and fell in love with him. He was also attracted to her and they just fell in love and got married. She was very poor and he was super wealthy, so he promised to always take care of her. Eventually, the two even had children, but apparently somewhere along the way, the relationship goes bad. Now, that really varies based on who's telling the story, but for the most part, this guy kind of loses interest in Maria, didn't care about her, and was spending less and less time at home, probably cheating. He ended up only caring about the kids and really didn't pay any attention to Maria. And then somehow Maria found out that he was cheating on her. Some versions of the story said she literally saw him out with another woman, but eventually he decided to leave her and the kids. Apparently Maria lost it when she realized that her husband gave up her entire family for a new woman. And according to the legend, she was so upset that she ended up gathering her kids and drowning them in a local river. And then apparently right after she did it, she immediately regretted it and started looking for their bodies in the river, but they had already been swept away with the current. So Maria ended up being so upset that she drowned herself. And basically the story goes that when she got to heaven, God was like, no, you cannot come in. That was very bad. I'm going to send you to basically purgatory, like an in-between type of situation. And you are gonna need to look for your kids. And God was like, you know, if you find your kids, maybe you can bring them into heaven with you. So story goes, she spends the rest of her existence as a very creepy, disturbed ghost who's weeping and just going around all rivers and bodies of water looking for her children. La Llorona literally translates to the weeping woman. Some versions of the story says she will kidnap or drown other children, and some versions say that she will go after cheating men. But this story is mainly used as a wise tale to get people to have good behavior, men and children. A lot of the times it's something, you know, like you better do your chores, or La Llorona could get you, or it's something that's told to kids at night, kind of like a creepy traditional story. But there have been several films, TV shows, and books where La Llorona is referenced in the films. And then not to mention that new movie that came out. So if you saw that, you'll have to let me know what you thought of it. But this next story is just really, really interesting. So the story of La Pascualita is actually one of Mexico's most well-known legends, but it's not super well-known in the US. So in Chihuahua, Mexico, there's a dress shop called La Popular. And on March 25th of 1930, the owner of the store put up a mannequin that immediately caught people's attention in the window. It brought in tons of customers and people passing by. And look at this thing, you guys. I'm gonna put several pictures of her throughout because this, I think it's important that you see as much of the detail on this mannequin as possible because it's honestly alarming. People thought this mannequin was absolutely gorgeous and it became known as Chihuahua's most popular bride. However, after being there for such a long time, I mean over 90 years this thing has been on display, which I no longer think it is, but it was on display for a very, very long time. If you are in this area, will you let me know? Because I've heard mixed things. A lot of people said they sold it. I don't know, but I would love to know where it is now. I don't know where it is now. But anyway, rumors started and people swore that this was too realistic of a mannequin to be a mannequin. People started thinking, you know, this thing has got to be a corpse. This has to be a real person. I mean, look at the detail on this. There's some really weird things, especially the fingernails. That's really shocking. They look super real. The wrinkles, the attention to detail. For a mannequin in the 1930s, like how much did they pay for this thing if it's fake? It just looks strikingly real. Some people even swore that they saw her moving or smiling or frowning or looking around, blinking, winking at them. Some people even say they saw her cry, that a tear came out of her eye. Some people even started to believe that she was a real human that was alive and somehow trapped in this. The story has different variations to it, but it basically goes that the owner, Pascuala Esparza, had a daughter and she was getting married. But right before she got married, she either got stung by a scorpion or a black widow, something poisonous. And apparently this happened on her wedding day. It was something that was hiding in her tiara. And according to the story, whatever this bite or sting was poisonous enough to kill her. Now, I wasn't able to figure out the name of the daughter. Multiple articles say different things. Some articles call her Donna, but most people refer to her as La Pascualita. A lot of people think that the mom embalmed her daughter and somehow kept her as a mannequin in the shop. Her mother was apparently really close to her, and people think that, you know, she couldn't let her go, and this was her way of hanging on to her. But there are also a lot of rumors in the community that this is a mannequin, a fancy mannequin, but it is kind of infused with a spirit as well. A lot of people think her mom performed some type of ritual and basically transferred her daughter's spirit into this mannequin so she could essentially live on forever. So that's a rumor as well. A lot of people noticed resemblance between the shop owner's daughter and the mannequin, but the shop owner completely denies it and says it's just a fancy mannequin. It was on display for almost 90 years. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's still on display. I don't think it is, but let me know if I'm wrong. This mannequin for a while just turned into a tourist attraction pretty much. People were just coming in to see it, which was bringing in business for the shop, so it was kind of a win-win. Customers literally would come from all over the world to even bring candles and flowers to this mannequin and leave them outside of the storefront. The original owner did pass away. There is a new owner now named Mario Gonzalez, and he kept the legend going on for a while by changing her clothes twice a week. And the creepy thing is he actually changes her clothes behind a curtain to keep her modesty, which has definitely sparked people's interest. There was an employee that worked there that claimed that they saw the mannequin without clothes and said this is not a mannequin, that it had dark green veins and just looked like a human. Some employees, which is hard to verify any of these stories, but some people do claim that at night she gets up and dances around and that sometimes she even changes her own clothes. Mario says he admittedly enjoys the fame and visitors it is brought to the store. And in one article I read, he said that he intended on keeping this going, but I'm still not sure if it is out to this day. When the owner is asked if it's a mummy, he ended up saying, "Many people believe it is, but in reality, I don't know." So, now, although a lot of people think this is funny and probably not serious, a lot of people believe it is 100% true, and they actually don't like the store owners for using the mannequin. They think displaying a human body to sell clothes would be really unethical, which, yeah. So I'm curious about what you guys think. If you live in Chihuahua or Mexico or just know about this story, let me know your thoughts or what you've heard. I definitely love hearing about legends, so if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss the rest of Freak Week. I hope you guys are having a great day. Stay spooky, and I will talk to you next time.